How are we doing, everybody? Diary of a Crazy Person. This is what the practice all is for. Tried to go in live. Couldn't get the Droid Cam, the microphone to connect through it. And as soon as I switch back to this microphone, I'm okay. That means yesterday, when I did that live stream from in the back room, which is just going to be the studio, it was using the mic off the phone. That's what the teething problem's all about. Finding them, sorting them. See, I've got the mini mic too. And you get two transmitters on it. So I have one as a Bluetooth. And then I have the other one as to go through the wireless adapter, which is okay. So to go live on the phone with good audio, I have to use the wireless adapter, but I have to go vertical. When I'm shooting Droid with the Droid Cam, and this is just the free version, going through off the desktop, I have to use my Elgato Wave 3. So what I'm doing on the computer, because as I say, I do multiple things all at the same time. While I'm going live. So on this side, this is my Claude chat. This is my agent Claude. And that's running scripts and creating tools and skills in which to do jobs. Right. This side over here, this is my folders. This is the folders, all the drives. It's where I see all my digital assets are. And obviously you generate so much filing, so many files, and you've got to keep track of them. Well, not track. Yeah, you've got to keep track of them. Don't delete anything until it's definitely not needed. So what I'm doing now is I'm uploading my workflows, which I've updated the skills, and now we're updating how those skills will work and make sure there's no conflicts. And I've been doing this process now for 2 weeks. So I've been actually improving the infrastructure so that the outcome of the work is the best it can be. And that's the tools. And with this stuff, I mean, I never learnt programming and all that. And this wouldn't be possible for me if it wasn't for being able to vibe as I am doing now, like speaking into the microphone. But also understanding why I need these tools. And it's the principle so that the work I make and what I produce is the best it can be. It's the best it can be. And it's not AI slop. It's just not low quality, low content. It's the best it can be. Because for people to buy it, for people to use their hard-earned money to buy stuff that I produce, it's got to be the best it can be. Because you've only got the money once and you can only spend it once. So that's how I think. I want to do the best stuff I can. And it's the same with my teaching and my coaching. And the reason I spent all my life studying and doing the research is so that the information I share with people is the best that there is. And I've tested it myself. And because Claude's American, I have to do all the work before 1 p.m. and after 7 p.m. because that's the UK off-peak time, so that we get more usage for our tokens. So that's why I get up in the middle of the night and in the early hours of the morning just to trigger Claude off my phone. And then obviously the weekend is all off peak. So that's why I work so much on a Saturday and a Sunday, is so that I can do all as much as I can, because my tokens will reset tomorrow at 4 p.m. tomorrow, is to get all the work I've done. So I've got no tokens left. So I've maximized the use of my subscription. And that's what it's doing. But also, you can't do all the ideas at once. You can't do all your ideas at once. You can't do all your projects at once, but you write them down in the book and you take them as far as you can. Be and have renegade patience. We can't do every project all at once. They can be started, then they're parked at the point at where they're at, till the right skills or what is needed is available to us. They are moving towards the finish line at different paces, but they are moving. I've got so many projects that are on the go that are either moving forward or they're parked. So this is just a reference of some idea of projects that I've got going. Yeah, and these ones at the top are the ones that have a good paying value. And yeah, and these ones are in the pipeline. Now, because I've got to this stage where I'm at with my skill level, I've spent the time learning the skills and now they're available to me, and I'm comfortable with doing those skills where I can now move on to other elements. It's exciting, or you enjoy it because now you're starting to see things happen. You know, you're getting into some of the more artistic elements, the more creative side, the visual and audio side of things. As where this bit for the last 2 weeks has been technical, but I've got to do the tools, I've got to shape the tools and build the tools so that the artistic stuff that's in my head, I'm able to deliver it out on the page and also be able to transfer them ideas into digital prompts so that I can generate the imagery and the landscapes, the environment that I want my stories to flow in and my business models and products to be developed in, so that they're worth the value that I'm charging. Now all my files, everything that I download, I've now into the habit of, so I put whatever the project is, the file, yeah, then I put at the date and then at the time, because I'm generating digital files all the way through the day. So by having that format where I've got the date and time at the end of it, so the first part of it is obviously the description, I'm able to find them straight away and then also put them into like a storage bin afterwards, that should I need to go back to them, because I haven't deleted anything from that storage folder, I should be able to find it. But because you're moving through the task so quick, the files become redundant really quick. And then there's the manual side of it here. So I'm transferring the skills that I've just developed and polished. I have to upload them manually into my agent, as where I hope to have an AI agent handling my desktop for this particular workflow, because it's a repetitive task which could be automated. Plus, you have to be a bit switched on, because you're updating and deleting files with similar names. But this is the best way I've found out is in your project files, getting your agent to output all the files that you need, so you can just go in and delete all the files from your project and then update them with all the new stuff, instead of, because when you've got 100 or plus files in there, it's a nightmare. It can be a nightmare to go in and organize things. But what I've also done from finding that nightmare is I built a filing structure so that all my projects, all the documents within it and within the document, the operating files, they all have identifiable association names, so you can keep track of stuff a lot better. The technical stuff's like, it's got to be done. So that we can do the creative stuff. You probably can't hear that. lovely low frequency form. Turn it up to that. See, being able to generate music, being able to generate the stories, the characters, bring them all in, bringing the idea along myself. Awesome. This is sounds of a crazy person, eh? These are all for project. These are all for scenes. These are all for scenes. It's so much possible now. It's so possible to bring things to life. If you do the work and you've got the vision and you don't judge yourself, you can do the work, man. You can. See, and that just that time I was just speaking there, that's updated them files. So I've got to do that process again now. Comes down to the zip file. Got to extract it. Open up the file. Go into Claude, skills, and then add the skills by dragging and dropping. Zip files only. Actually, if I do that, sort by type, that will make it easier. You see this task, look how long it might take me only 2 minutes, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But when you've got to do it multiple times through the day, if you do it 20 times through the day, that adds up. And all it is a dragging and dropping an update. So I've put down in the book, I want to build something so that it will handle that. Because that's all business is. Business is you sell something that makes somebody else's life a little bit easier. It removes a problem that they're having. And they pay you for either the product, the skill, or the information in which to solve that problem. That's all business is. And it's a lot easier now and a lot faster to take an idea and get it ready for market. See, now that's it. My agent is there. I've used all my tokens until 1 p.m. The session resets at 1 p.m. And I've only got 2%. So at 1 p.m. I can go in and start a new session. But for my whole weekly session allowance, I've got 2% left, which resets in 4 hours, 22 minutes. So that's what I mean. I'm forced. I can't do no more of that work now. Yeah. Which means I move on to another. The old fans have kicked in now. Which means I can move over onto another project, another part of the projects, because they're all at different stages. So now I can go over to my other agent. And this is the one that I do all my research with. And I can also develop images and documents from here. But it is just for mainly, it gives me a flexibility to get things ready to put them over into that agent. So I can look at my projects. I've got, yeah, and that's my digital filing system of the whole of the projects as a whole. And then I can come into them and do the individual tasks. These projects are built up of my own personal training material and business plans and everything that's under my Renegade Human project umbrella. Then all the other ones are projects which involve other people, which benefit other people because they're the subject. Some of them are right at the very basics, at the very beginning of the idea. This is the story about my sensei, Tom Moss, the man, the sensei, Aikido Fitness. He died 23 years ago. And since his death, the club has gradually got smaller and smaller. And it's a beautiful dojo, 3 dojos. And then they had the 2020 happen. And I wanted to make a short 6-minute film about the Phoenix Aikido and about Sensei Tom Moss, but as the man also, because there are fifth and sixth stands there that have known Tom for 50 years, and etc. So if they will accept to tell a little fraction of their story about Tom, because there's plenty of great photos that all have stories, and that's just one idea. That's like a passion project. There's so much work involved in that, but it's there. That's the money list. That's the money list. They're my horses. And it's like, which one do I invest the energy into? Which one do I think is going to get across the line the quickest, or with the biggest win? I do everything myself, me. There's only one of me. And there's so many possibilities. You can't do them all. You can't do them all. There's a short film I put up the other day, which I made. I filmed that in 2021, just while I was out walking Rufus. Yeah, it's just proof, something in advance. I had the idea. I was out with Rufus, just did that monologue straight off the top of my head. Years later, having the skills to be able to rotoscope myself out, to bring those images in and just tell that little story. I mean, this trailer for my book that I published. That trailer, I made that trailer, and it tells the story of what's in the book. It's about a New York ballerina, a British ballerina coming from the West Midlands. She goes to New York, and the global food system collapses all around the world, because that's the way it's been built, it's been set up. And it's about the world dying and everybody else dying around her of starvation, and how she handles it. No zombies, no viruses, just simply there's no more food. The food system's been turned off. They've stopped moving it. You can go out to the fields and you can see they're not growing it. And the food system just gets turned off, and how quick and easy all the people die. Yeah. You know, it just, people might look at it and go, oh, that's crap or whatever. But I'd never done that before, and now I've done it. So it's to prove to myself that I can do it. That's why I make this stuff. That's why I go these lives. It doesn't really matter if there ain't no views. It matters that I bothered to make the effort. See, none of these have been released yet. They're made. They're up on the YouTube channel. I've been up there for a year. Yeah, look at that imagery. Yeah, that's been up there. These two trailers, I made them, and it proved to myself that I can do what I say I can do. No BS, because there's the proof. Here's the proof. And from this, I'm producing 13 books on this series, on this saga. Yeah. I ain't showing you that. No. That was a little sneak peek. That is worth money. That is worth money. I've got a few projects that are worth money. I say I can't tell you everything. I can't show you what it is. Right. But I can tell you I've doubled down on myself. I've invested 10 years of learning and used 30 years worth of savings since 2020 to just keep on going. So I'm not working for no one else. I've learnt the skills so that I can bring the ideas out into the real world. Just like making these videos, they all start from the book. That's it. Yeah, that's the money. That's the money. You got to do the work. Everyone around you might think you're fucking crazy, right? But you've got to do the work. And if you believe in your ideas, you'll double down on yourself. You'll double down on yourself. What to do. So you also get to this point where I'm at now. I've got exciting points in a few projects. And you can't rush forward, even though you want to rush forward. You can't rush forward. But again, just like the ideas that are now coming true, years ago, they were not possible. When I wanted to generate imagery and do this 3D modeling and all this lot, I asked someone who I know who's like, yeah, and they said, oh yeah, it'll take about 8 people, 12 weeks, and about 50 grand. And now I can do it just like that. myself here. I pay about £2,000 a year in subscriptions so that I have access to the software, because you can't do that stuff locally. You ain't, you know. Oh, what to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. This project here, this is a workflow project. This will be the first time I've done this type, but what it means is it will give me the basis to do everything, because I'm going to need tools to do what I want to do. I've got to make some tools to be able to plug into DaVinci Resolve, and I know I can do it because I can speak, but I haven't done it yet. But if I can do this, if I can crack this workflow, it opens up some ideas. It opens up possibilities for me to be able to do a lot more on my own. Yeah. It removes another stumbling block. That's what it is, DaVinci Resolve, man. Because we're all creators, as it says. We're all creators. We just got to believe. So everyone is a creator. And that's what the book's about. So having this process is being able to just everyone. Everyone is a creator. You just don't believe it. And that's a habit. Just saying with people with losing weight, you know, they don't believe that they can lose it. They don't believe they can change their lives because everything around them is bombarding them saying, no, you're right, you can't. You are what you eat. And you are what you do. You've got to stop eating crap and live like an animal. And you have to move like an animal. That's how it is. All this doesn't mean nothing once the food stops. And that's why I wrote that book. Because of that animal mentality. Right, that would do. I'm going to get off. That's another 40 minutes. See, I can just waffle, but that's the whole point, just waffling. People don't believe you, right? But you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself. Because this is what it is. This is business. This is what entrepreneurial is. It ain't it ain't walking. I mean, like, it ain't just walking around with a microphone and giving people money. Just now, it used to be people used to sell other people's skills. Well, now it's for you to sell your skills. And it was the seller that made the most money, not the person who actually did the work. Just like your boss is just selling your skills out. They're the one that make the most money. But now you have the opportunity to be able to sell your own skills and remove the middleman. That's why AI is going to take everybody's jobs, and it is taking everybody's jobs. But those people that didn't have a job or didn't have those skills, and now AI is doing it, now they've got the opportunity to take back some control, but only for a period of time. Yeah, this is only for a period of time, this moment, and then we're all out there who will own nothing and will be happy. Less stuff, more happiness. That's coming. Simple as. Always has done. Look into the history. Look at the civilizations. Look how they collapse. Look how long they last before they collapse. And then look around you. That's why you live. That's why you live with one foot in the digital world, or the world now, making the money so you can buy the tools and the resources in which to survive when there is no money and there is no food. Yeah. Because that's why the billionaires and the millionaires are building their bunkers and they're filling them full of food and resources and tools. That's what they're doing. They're using their money to build somewhere that's secure so that they can store their food and their tools, and they'll take a few people with them. Remember, we're not in that club. So you've only got now till then to do what you can, to learn the skills and some tools so that you can get food. Me learning to do this 10 years ago, even though I haven't earned any money, it's cost me money over 10 years. If I'd carried on working what I was doing, I would have still had X. But if I can do my job right, learning like a professional to be a professional in every task that I do, then really I should be able to 10x what I would have earned. I doubled down on the one horse. That was me. So I could have worked for 10 years and earned this much. Or I could have worked for the next 10, 11 years, or 12 years. So if I got another 2 years worth, or another year, or another certain amount of months where I could earn much more money than what I would have earned. So I make up what I haven't earned over the last 10 years plus profit. Because that's how I looked at it. That's why I looked at this last 10 years of learning and working for myself and just living with nothing, and my savings just going down because my outgoings are more than my income. It's because I was just paying for my education. And that's where I'm at the stage now where I've got enough self-confirmation to know that in a short period of time, I will have learnt the skills that I need to have learnt, and I would have done the things that I'd want to do for the first time and learnt from that process. So in a very short period of time now, because obviously everything's accelerating because I've got the hardest things out the way, which was DaVinci Resolve, and learning the media process and the artistic side of it, the framing, the color grading, the sound design, all the things that make you be able to bring out your character within visual imagery, sound, emotion, weight, and all that. You've got the tools, and you've played with the tools enough to be able to be artistic now. Well, that's the point I'm at. Getting this technical side out the way and being artistic. Yeah. But I tell you, you got to keep track of yourself, because you could easily burn out. And there's been stages where I've done it, where you lose 3-4 months like that because you're just in the editing suite. You've got to manage your mind. Keep believing in yourself. But find a workflow where you can work, recuperate, recover. Work, recoup, recover. And we do that on a micro scale of working, going outside, training. If you've got friends around you, but they've got to be the right people. They've got to be people who are pushing you forward, not pulling you back. And it is better to be on your own than have negative people around you. And that's why when I'm with people, I'm just like, because in constantly 24 hours a day while I'm awake, and even when I'm subconsciously asleep, my mind's telling me, you can do it, 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 we can do it, we are doing it. First thing I wrote this morning was up at 7:44 a.m. We'd been awake for some time. We'd kept our eyes closed and went through the morning positive mantras that we use every morning. Believe it before you see it. And the mind before the eyes. Believe that we can do it. Then do what it takes to make it happen. This is the way. Be a renegade believer. Renegade Human Project. Andy Spacey. Yeah. Do the work, believe in yourself, and repeat. Do the work, believe in yourself, and repeat. I'm worth it. I believe it. I can do it. We are doing it. We're good. We're positive. We're worth it. We're dedicated. We're determined. And we're disciplined. That's what I say before I wake up every morning. As soon as I become conscious, we're good, we're positive, we're worth it. We can listen, we can learn, we can take action. We're dedicated, we're determined, we're disciplined. We are a believer. Yeah, and that's what I say. And I get up, roll my mat up, and I come and write the first thing in here. So the very first thing I write is positive. You write in here, positive. Remember, spelling. This is your spell book. This is your wand. What you write is what happens, because you do what you write. You write in the book what you've got to do, and you do it. Tell the story. Sell it to the imagination. Live your dreams. Live now. Be your best self now. Love yourself and others. Don't give up on loving life. Look. Live your dream life now. Be your best self now. Love yourself and others. Don't give up on love of life. Yeah. Psycho-cybernetics. Motivational manifesto. Think and Grow Rich. If you don't program your mind, someone else will. And that's what your education was. And that's why you are where you are and you believe what you believe, because you've been programmed and you don't realise it. Wirelessly, audibly, through touch, you're programmed. So learn how to program yourself and reprogram yourself. This reprograms yourself. Training reprograms yourself. And do the work and prove it. Right, that would do. This is Diaries of a Crazy Person. You got to believe, man. You got to believe. Don't ask for an easy life. Build strength to handle it. You're a zoo human and you're an animal. When you understand that, you understand you can be free. Because